really happened, and did 11 actually die? What if I told you the Stranger Things finale isn't really about killing Vecna? Not about saving Hawkins, not even about defeating the Upside Down. What if the final episode is actually about who gets to decide the story? Because by the time the credits roll, the show leaves us with one haunting question. Did 11 die? Or did the characters choose to believe she lived? And that difference changes everything. Let's break down the Stranger Things Season 5 finale. The hidden meanings, the emotional sacrifices, and why the ending is much darker and much more hopeful than it first appears. The final episode feels different, on purpose. Episode 8, titled The Rightside Up, doesn't ease into its finale. There's no long planning montage. No speeches, no hesitation. The characters already know what they have to do, and that's intentional. The Duffer Brothers designed this finale like the climax of a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, where every character has already leveled up. There's no more explaining, only execution. The plan, everyone plays their part. The group splits into 3 fronts. 11, Kaylee, and Max enter Vecna's mind. Hopper and Murray prepare to destroy the Upside Down from the inside. The rest of the crew heads into the abyss to rescue the captured children. This matters because Stranger Things has always been about collective survival. Vecna cannot be beaten by power alone. He can only be beaten if everyone contributes. That's the core philosophy of the show, and the reason this final battle works. Vecna is not just a monster. He is a choice. One of the most important reveals in the finale has nothing to do with explosions. It happens in a memory. Inside a cave in Kamazatz, we finally learn why Henry is terrified of this place. As a child, Henry opens a scientist's briefcase and finds a glowing rock containing particles of the Mind Flayer. That moment didn't just change him. It ended his childhood. But here's the key detail the show refuses to make simple. The Mind Flayer didn't fully control Henry. It offered him meaning. Henry looked at a broken world and chose to join something bigger than himself. That's why Will is so important in the finale. Will vs. Vecna, the mirror moment. Will realizes something devastating. He and Henry walked the same path. Both were touched by the Mind Flayer. Both were shaped by fear. Both were tempted by power. But Will fought it. Henry didn't. When Will tells Henry, "It wasn't you," he's offering redemption. And for a moment, it almost works. But Henry rejects it. He insists he chose the Mind Flayer. And that's why Vecna cannot be redeemed. Because redemption requires regret, and Henry has none. The Abyss battle. Control versus connection. The Mind Flayer finally reveals its true form. Massive, spider-like, overwhelming. And notice something crucial. The monster is powerful, but it's also dependent. It's a hive mind. Meaning if you hurt one part, you hurt them all. That's when Mike realizes the truth. 11 doesn't need to fight alone. They can hurt Vecna by hurting the Mind Flayer. What follows is the most collaborative fight in the series. Nancy becomes bait. Jonathan and Robin attack from above. Dustin and Steve strike from below. Lucas ignites the trap. Mike holds the plan together. And 11? She goes straight for the heart. Who really kills Vecna and why it matters. 11 impales Vecna. Will restrains him. But Vecna doesn't die until Joyce Byers steps forward. And this is not random. Joyce was the first person to believe something was wrong. The first to fight the darkness. The first to refuse denial. Her killing Vecna brings the story full circle. This isn't about revenge. It's about ending the cycle. The Upside Down is destroyed, but at a cost. With Vecna and the Mind Flayer defeated, Hopper and Murray trigger the bomb. Purple Rain plays as the bridge between worlds collapses. The Upside Down, the source of every nightmare, is erased. But then we notice something horrifying. 11 didn't come back. 11's final choice. 11 waits at the gate. She pulls Mike into the void. And here's the most important line in the entire finale. She tells him none of this will ever stop as long as she exists. This is not martyrdom. This is agency. For the first time in her life, 11 makes a choice that no one forces her into. She disappears. The gate closes, and the world survives. The time jump. Life moves on. 18 months later, Hawkins is rebuilding.